Hello, everyone. I'm back, and I slept horribly last night. Um, I don't know if anyone else has ever had this experience or not, but I feel like my tics are somehow related to the weather. Maybe I'm crazy, but that's really what it feels like. I got down into like the single digits last night, and I woke up at 3 in the morning, ticking and shaking, and couldn't stop. So I've basically been what, what? I've basically been awake since 3 this morning. I did get a little more sleep, like between 6:30 and 8, but not very much. So I figured it was a good day to talk about parenting with tics. Because parenting is tiring. So first of all, parenting is hard regardless. Whatever you're dealing with, parenting is tough, but it's also super rewarding. I love being a parent. It's great. It's awesome. I really love when they're between like 1 and 2 years old and they're like discovering the whole world and their mind is just like blown at the simplest things. I love it. So it is super rewarding and I love doing it, but it is really hard. So parenting with tics, you're already kind of used to being tired. But there are some difficulties. I haven't really talked with my kids about it because one, my oldest is only 5, so they're 5. I have a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old. So they're not really old enough to get it. I mean, if I were, if this were something that happened for me on a daily or even a regular basis, I feel like I might talk to them a little bit more about it. But I mean, it's hard enough to explain to adults, let alone kids. So I haven't really explained it to them, and they don't really notice at this point. When my older kids do notice and say something about it, I usually just say that, oh, well, I did that because I felt like I needed to do that. So for now it's working. I mean, we'll see I'm sure as they get older, if I continue to have seasonal Tourette's, that I'll talk to them about it. But that's where we are for now. So usually during the day, when I'm actively engaged with them, my symptoms are a little less. I think it's just because I'm focused on what we're doing and concentrating on that. So they're not as noticeable. They're not quite as big of a problem. But I do, I will go off and let some of it out, especially the F-bomb one. That's always fun. Which has gotten me in trouble, actually, because just today, I walked out of the living room and let out a string because I thought I was, safely far enough away. And then I heard my toddler, our 1-year-old, in the other room. I hear going, fa, 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 fa. So I need to be more careful about that, clearly. But yeah, I will suppress some with the kids. Some of it is not, it's not as bad. And there are different times of the day where it's worse too. So usually after they've gone to bed, it's a little bit worse too. But another thing I will do is I will kind of mask the symptoms when we're playing. So I might be playing with my toddler and I'll get like the what tic going on. So instead of like making a big deal about it as a tic, it just incorporate it into whatever game we're playing. And that's worked pretty well for me so far. Ow, 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 ow. So yeah, but then after the older two have gone to bed, it usually comes out a little bit more. And our toddler is still awake at that point because she's an idol. And like I said, with the whole swearing thing, she does like to mimic me. Like I'll be sitting on the couch and I'll have like an arm thing going on, and she'll sit there like. So she sees it a lot more and she mimics it more. Yes, I do worry about them getting a tic syndrome of some kind. But I think I worry about it less than a lot of people might, mostly because I try not to worry. It takes up too much time and energy to worry. I try to, focus on the positives. And, honestly, if one of them or all of them get some kind of tic syndrome, it's not the end of the world. Everybody has challenges, and if one of them has an issue, then that'll just be one of their challenges in life. And the good thing about that is I'll be able to help out because I know what it feels like. Why? So yeah, that's kind of the whole parenting with tics thing. Right now it's super exhausting because, any one of the three having tics all the time is tiring. Parenting is tiring, and being pregnant is tiring. So add all three of them together, and I'm like a zombie some days, particularly today when I don't get any sleep. But you make it work. Plus today is Friday, so hubby's coming home for the weekend. Well, he'll be at home over the weekend, and I might get a nap. So that's all. I will be doing a video about the different tics I've had. It's hard for me because they cycle so quickly, especially at the beginning. But I will try to do that. I have some other stuff. But I'm going to get off now and try to stay awake. Have a nice day.